morning, good morning, good morning again. This is take 3 after my cat went wild. It's another glorious and awesome morning. It's an awesome new year, a return to work for a lot of people. Get back to work. It's January 2nd. And I've seen some jokes about what they call the holiday stupor, how you get leave a lot of times right before Christmas or right on Christmas, and then you have this period where a lot of people take time off, and then you have New Year's. And so you're just like, what day is it? I don't know. You're full of food. You've been eating all this food. You've been laying around. Sometimes, since it's cold and dry and you travel, you've had encounters with various diseases that you're fending off. And so you're just like, blah. You feel almost sick, like your body hasn't been used. You haven't been putting the best things in it, even though a lot of times they taste good. But particularly, even more use lately, you get a lot of the junk in the sweets. And so it's just, whoa. And I was thinking this morning how there's principles to that. If you put the wrong things in your body and you don't use your body, you lose what you have. You lose the functionality, you lose the good feelings. There's also, people have learned more and more over the years, if you put the wrong things in your mind, or you don't use your mind or your social capacities, you lose them. You need to keep your brain active. You need to keep your socialization active. That doesn't mean you're just constantly got to be cranking away at it and straining it, but you have to keep using them. And this morning I was listening to some ministry, and they had said, use your faith. Use the faith that you have. And it struck me again. I've heard this before, but you need to put the right things into yourself spiritually. Feed on the right things. We can't just feed on junk, spiritual junk. Say, oh, well, I like it. It doesn't bother me. Those things don't bother me. I've heard that before. Those scary movies don't bother me. Well, what are you actually putting in you? It's great that you aren't bothered by it in a sense, or maybe it's not great. Maybe you've just grown numb or callous to it. What are you putting in you? Not just scary movies. I'm talking about anything spiritually. Let's feed ourselves with good stuff. Sorry, I've got my Bible stuff sitting on my Bible right now. Feed ourselves. Not just, it's not bad to just read the word, but there are people who preach. There's times of prayer. There's other things that we don't even think, oh, so that's super spiritual, but it's godly. You feed yourselves with the good stuff, with the words of faith. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word. But you don't just sit there and say, well, I'm full of faith. I'm a man of faith and power. And then I just sit there. I don't do anything. What am I going to do? I need to use it. Use my faith. Exercise my faith. How do you exercise your faith? When you speak words with confidence that something's coming to pass. When you get out there and you do something with confidence that God is moving. When you pray and you have expectation. When Jesus spoke to the woman who said, my daughter is severely demon-possessed. And she basically said, look, have expectation that you're going to deliver my daughter. And he said, woman, great is your faith. She didn't come and say, oh, please, oh, will it ever happen? Or she didn't just sit in her room and say, well, I know Jesus is going to do it because he's good, and that's just the way he is. And never go speak the word, never go petition the Lord. No, great is her faith. She went out there, she spoke it, and she persisted in it and had confidence that it would come to pass. She exercised her faith. So we need to exercise and employ our faith. In fact, in Luke 17:5, we have a little example or a little instruction from Jesus where the disciples said, Lord, increase our faith. They just like saying, Lord, increase my muscles. Well, use those muscles. Do some curls. Use those muscles. Lord, increase my mental capacity. Well, let's do some Sudoku or something. Or use your brain. Lord, increase our faith. What was his answer? Oh, I doth bless thee with extra faith. No, he said, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed. If your faith is tiny, a little tiny seed, what are you going to do with it? Well, it says, you speak to a mulberry tree, and it will be removed from here to there, and it shall be done for you. But if it's a seed, what does a seed do? Is the seed the plant? Is the seed the end result? No, the seed is something that you use. You plant it. You put it in the ground. You do something with it. If you have faith as a seed, plant that seed. Speak it, and you sleep at night. You rise in the morning. You don't know how it happens, but it grows. You have the faith put into the ground, and it grows. You water it, the sun shines on it, and it grows. Use our faith. Let's feed ourselves. Let's make a New Year's resolution. I resolve I'm going to feed myself good things physically, mentally, and spiritually, and I'm going to exercise what I have physically, mentally, and spiritually. Amen. Be blessed.